Last week, the competition tried, but they couldn't stop Chris Borich. So they did have something up their sleeve in the last lap, but it's not going to be enough. Chris Borich is going to win again. That's 6 wins in 7 rounds this year. But today, the toughest course of the year awaits. Welcome to the show on what should be one of the wildest days at the races we've seen in quite some time. It's the 2012 running of the Motosport.com Snowshoe round of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. Jason Wygant here. Yes, we have a picturesque ski resort up top, but once the riders get down into the woods, it'll be anything but picturesque. In fact, it'll be downright nasty. Amateur riders out there in our morning race right now just trying to make their way back in. These mud holes, the hill climbs, the rocks. If it weren't for all the fans out there who can get involved and pull these machines out, most of these riders probably wouldn't even make it back to the finish line. Our pro race is just about getting ready to go, and today we're going to profile one of the riders who has been there, seen it, and done it all in GNCC racing. One of the all-time favorites of this series, the veteran, Johnny Gallagher.
Honestly, after 20-plus years of racing GNCC and 18 years as an XC1 Pro, I couldn't be happier with the way things are going. I really enjoy every weekend, have a great time with it. This for me is life. It's every day, it's every night. It's when I wake up in the morning, it's the first thing I think about. When I go to bed at night, it's what I'm thinking about. A lot of times people ask me what keeps me coming back after all these years. You got guys like Barry Hawk, Bill Ballance that did this sport for so long, but winning races and winning championships. For me, it's about always trying to do my best and better myself. And I think this season is really a demonstration of that for me. I've been in the XC1 Pro class for 18 years, and this is actually my best season. So I'm 34 years old. I'm certainly not the youngest guy out there. In fact, I am the oldest, and pretty proud of that. So at 34 years old, I'm only getting better and can only see myself getting better for the foreseeable future. So that's what keeps me coming back.
And it really is a family affair for Johnny G. His late father, John Gallagher, one of the all-time greats of this series, raced both ATVs and bikes. Today we're going to focus on the ATV class, and you see everyone lined up on the hard road, the pavement. Totally different than most rounds of this tour. Top 5 riders and points are on row 1, then 6 through 10, and the rest on row 2, and so on back. Let's go racing here on the hard road, and then head into the woods. And it is Chris Borich going to grab the whole shot here on the number 1. Rarely do you see Borich up front early. Helmet cam view provided by Adam McGill, courtesy of Rocky Mountain ATV MC. And this is the easy stuff. A lot of fans up here, but as the machines begin to work their way down into the mud bogs, the fans will work their way down to watch as well. And row 2, you see the thumbs up coming from Bryan Wolf, who won this race in 2009 and 2010. He is very hard to beat on the very tough terrain we have set up today. And remember, since we split all the classes up with rows of 5 today, you're going to see a lot of time adjustment come into play as far as determining the overall. But it looks like Wolf has already climbed up to physically the first position on the track. He's already passed the 5 other riders from row 1 in front of him. He is just so tough here at Snowshoe, putting that JG off-road Honda up to the number 1 spot. Here is the 341. Now Wolf has always been fast. This year, started the season off with a hand injury. He got such a big blister on the palm of his hand in preseason testing that it eventually became infected. It has taken a while for him to get up to speed. Borich goes by in second. Here's third place Walker Fowler, stalls the factory Yamaha there for a moment. And this looks like Chris Bithell on the MotoWorks Can-Am coming through here as well. They're in the deep, dark forest. Over 1,000 feet of elevation change the riders will have to deal with here as well. So sometimes you're up top, it gets dried out, a little hard pack and maybe dusty. Sometimes you're on those paved roads. Sometimes you're down here in the mud, the rocks, and even the areas that aren't muddy early on. A lot of times the riders say you'll kick some of those rocks out of the way and it'll actually open up natural springs, and water will start popping out of the mountain, literally, and turn a section that was not muddy into a section that is muddy. So ever-changing course conditions out here, and through the years, Bryan Wolf has been the one that has handled this most unique event best. And look at the lead he is already pulling. on Chris Borich. Now, Borich usually comes into Snowshoe with eyes on a bigger prize. He is the one gunning for his 3rd straight GNCC title, as you watch Fowler and Bithell continue to maintain 3rd and 4th. Borich often content to take a 2nd or a 3rd today. He knows on a tough course like this, you can easily break the machine and not finish. He's going to think about points. Wolf clearly not thinking about anything but pulling as big a lead as he can, and Borich is doing all he can to keep him in his sights. We're just getting started. Stay with us.
The Can-Am Renegade 1000 XXC with the most powerful engine in the industry. The Outlander 1000 XT with a redesigned chassis for unequal trail riding. The Commander 1000 Limited, the most equipped, luxurious side-by-side in the industry. The facts say it's the most advanced lineup out there. But the ride says it all.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Here's your Can-Am upcoming schedule. Go to GNCCRacing.com to check it out, or watch the graphics right here. We'll be racing just outside of Indianapolis at the end of October with the Amsoil Ironman Classic, and then the longest running event of all on this tour. Over 30 years we've been going to Loretta Lynn Ranch just outside of Nashville, where you got a UTV, an ATV, or a dirt bike. If you're a boy or a girl, young or old, come on out and join us. It's the most fun you could possibly have on a weekend in the dirt. Brian Wolf continuing to pour it on, leading here at this Motosport.com Snowshoe GNCC. I'm Jason Wygant here giving you the call. And the fans now, like I said, they're going to work their way up from the starting line area and deep into the woods. It's a 2-hour race, so they have plenty of time to check out all the starts, all the hole shots, and then find their favorite vantage point to watch these riders get down to business. And business picking up here as Fowler and Bithell have caught Borich in a battle for 2nd. And look at Bithell hanging it out there on the Can-Am in the number 4 spot. So how about it? 4 different brands up front. You have the Honda here of Wolf, the Suzuki of Borich, the Yamaha of Fowler, the Can-Am of Bithell. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here you can see how rocky this course actually is. We are deep in the mountains of southern West Virginia. Snowshoe is a ski resort in the wintertime. A lot of these trails are mountain bike trails during the summer. And yes, the ski lifts are in operation. That's what allows the fans to get to some of these remote portions of the track. They can actually ride the ski lifts all the way down into the valleys where you find the real technical terrain. But you gotta hustle if you want to see Brian Wolf down there. He is blowing through these sections. And it looks like Fowler and Bithell have made the move on Borich, pushing your defending GNCC champ back to 4th. And now Taylor Kiser on the number 3 Yamaha on the radar. He is up to 5th and closing the gap. So 2 different things to watch. Brian Wolf doing his thing out front, and then everyone else battling behind him, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, shuffling quite a bit. Fowler is the rookie in this class. Won a couple of overalls last year while starting on row 2 in the XC2 division, and also finished 3rd place overall here last year on adjusted time. Everyone is waiting for the teenage Fowler to catch fire and win one of these things overall starting from row 1. Maybe today will be the day, but you've got to go through the big bad Wolf if you want to win at Snowshoe. What I've always liked about Wolf's style, he's just so loose on the machine. Kind of say it's like, I meant to do that, I meant to do that. The machine bounces around. It looks like he doesn't have a plan. It looks like he's just pinning it through a section. But then when he gets to the end, you realize that he actually picked a good line and had good momentum through there. It's almost like a happy accident, but that doesn't happen on accident. He has actually developed a riding style that allows him to stay loose like that. And in these rocks and over these logs and through these roots and ruts. Oh, and here's a section where even all that, but no, there you go. I thought he was stuck for sure. And that little bit of extra momentum he had, he keeps the machine running, keeps the forward progress. Let's see how well Fowler attacks it. Well, he's taking a different line, going straight through the middle. and hard on the gas, trying to keep the tires spinning as well. Fowler has put some distance between himself and everyone else. It is Borich now back to third. Almost right into that tree. And Kiser in the number 4 spot. We hear that Bithell has a problem with his steering dampener, the steering stabilizer. And in these rough sections, man, the handlebars just want to rip out of your hands if that thing isn't working right. Uh-oh! Wolf has gotten it stuck. Look at that. Doesn't even have, I don't believe he has reverse on that machine. Somehow he managed to maneuver it backwards on his own. And once again, it looked like he was going to get stuck. Not a problem. Here comes Borich, and this is the number 3 of Kiser now. So Fowler has now made a mistake and gone backwards, and it's going to happen all day long on a track this tough. But how about Wolf? The fans are beginning to stir. They know this is the man to beat. 3 laps complete, 2 laps to go, just past the halfway mark. And he's got a nice lead built up over Borich, who's just working his way into the finish line area now. Will your GNCC champ make another one of his patented late race charges, or is Wolf unstoppable today?
When it's time to get ready to ride and you need gear, it's time to go to RockyMountainATV.com. With the largest selection of ATV parts, apparel, and accessories, we have what you need at deep discounts. We have a huge state-of-the-art facility that ensures your order ships out quickly with accuracy that's second to none. Most items ship free and arrive at your door in 3 days or less. Visit our industry-leading website, RockyMountainATV.com today for the best prices, quickest shipping, online support, and largest in-stock selection around. RockyMountainATV.com. Get ready.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Amsoil and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Give you the highlights of the morning race. You saw the clips from earlier today. This is where the big 4x4 machines go at it, and we mean go at it. Look at them banging bars into the first turn. You'll have your women's class, super senior, and novice riders out here in the morning as well. Rider to beat today, Jordan Phillips out of Green Mountain, North Carolina on that Can-Am Renegade in the U2 class. Traditional U2 favorite, Cliff Beasley, had his problems, only completed 1 lap today. So Phillips on the gas. Also going to watch for Andrew Langston out of Indiana in the 4x4 Open Division. These 4x4 machines really excel in these tough conditions at Snowshoe. Dave Simmons going by there, always up front, super senior class champ running for the overall. And then your women's class riders coming through, Tracy Checo and Angel Atwell, off to another one of their traditional battles here. But it's all about the 4x4 machines and conditions like this. Your 4x4 open class, you had Langston battling it out with Brian Buchanan and Michael Swift. And it looked like one of those 3 was also going to take the overall today on adjusted time. But Swift and Buchanan ultimately had troubles late in the race. Langston had a phenomenal next to last lap to get the lead, and here he is battling out with Jordan Phillips. They're both going to win their classes. Who will win the overall? Langston is going to edge out Phillips for the day, and 3rd overall and 1st sport quad. No surprise, that is Dave Simmons. And here are those riders on the podium. Congrats out there to Langston, taking the overall win today, a very coveted one here at Snowshoe. You're the best of those big 4x4 beasts on a track like this. You earned it. Up back to our pro race, and it continues to be Brian Wolf leading the way. Chris Borich in 2nd, and I'd say Borich is putting in a concerted effort to try to catch Wolf and put some pressure on. Here is Taylor Kiser in 3rd. Last time they came through, Wolf had a 36-second lead on Borich. That's when that 2-lap card came out. So there's still plenty of time, 36 seconds over 2 laps. Borich can make that ground up, but he's going to need a mistake from Wolf. And as we have seen, Wolf, even when he does make mistakes, he's able to minimize the damage. He doesn't usually get stuck. He doesn't put it into a tree. He'll recover quickly. So Borich is going to try to run a steady, solid race and hope that things fall in his favor. Same thing with Kiser. You try to go fast on this track and make up time with pure speed, well, it's going to bite you. You'll be much better served just trying not to get stuck and just keep the machine running. You push too hard. I mean, there's just no room for rest out here. It's just rocks and holes and tree roots and ruts, hill climbs. You'll see a lot of these courses develop almost like motocross tracks where the riders are just banking off the corners. Today, a little bit more conservative approach, much more of a survival race. And these seem to be the conditions that Bryan Wolf excels in the best. Keeping one steady speed up, just keeping the momentum. But it appears that Borich has actually closed the gap up quite a bit. He is making a run at Wolf, and Wolf going to try to get some of that back here in the open stuff. And that JG Off-Road team, they've got to be happy about this. They are primarily a bike team, started by one of the veterans of the bike wars, JT Bennett and his wife Gretchen. But now with Honda's backing, they're racing the ATV division as well and looking to pick up their first ever overall win as a team on four wheels. Battle is on for third. Chris Bithell, busted steering dampener and all, is back in it and has taken third away from Kiser. So he is just pushing, using the adrenaline right now to overcome whatever kind of pain he's probably in fighting those handlebars. Now we're into the pits, and the JG Off-Road team has got Bryan Wolf fueled back up and out. And not much ground lost, and Borich has still not even come into the pits. Now the Suzuki man checks in, and that's his dad on the left, Joe, fueling him up. And they know a lot of racing still in front of them on this very rough track. What a ride for Bithell to come back from 5th to 3rd. And a nice job stopping on a dime in this. Bithell is always good with the pits and always good at conserving fuel. Although today it looks like everyone's on the exact same pit strategy. We'll see who comes out on top after this.
Any engine, any season, at home, at the track, or on the trail. Amsoil, the first in synthetics.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Chris Borich on the gas here at Snowshoe, and a big change. Bryan Wolf, who has led every inch of this race, made that mistake Borich was hoping for, and it has put Borich in the #1 spot. Wolf in 2nd, Chris Bithell 3rd, Taylor Kiser is 4th. So Bryan Wolf, who had as much of a minute lead at one point, has seen Borich close the gap down. With 2 laps to go, it was 36 seconds. With a lap to go, it was 5 seconds. Now Borich has moved up to the #1 spot and trying to get him back. It is going to be a duel here on the final lap of Snowshoe. And a great race for 3rd as well between Bithell and Kiser, the Can-Am and the Yamaha duking it out. Walker Fowler not too far behind them in 5th. Now, again, a couple of times we have seen Borich let Wolf go, and Borich focused on the championship picture and consistency at this track. We'll find out. He has the lead in the last lap. He's not going to give it up. He didn't care about consistency. Now, you have the checkered flag in sight. You are going to go for it. It might be an endurance battle now. Does Wolf have enough energy left to find the same speed that got him into the lead early in this one? Great effort for Bithell, who is 3rd right now. Trying to keep Kiser at bay, and I think you can see how slippery and how steep this course is, not by the camera angles, but just how much these riders are sliding around, trying to get traction, and here comes Wolf. He has caught Borich again, looking for a way around, and there are some deep mud holes out here, and that really tells the story. That 1 minute or 30-some second lead that Wolf has, one stuck in one of those mud holes, and it's all over. So it might come down to those sections again, and here we are, down into the mud. Fans cheering these guys on. Borich trying to stay aggressive, trying to keep the thing moving. Can he keep it going? Here comes Wolf. And Wolf knows you find the best traction out where the fans are. They're going to stand on solid ground, so he went all the way to the right. And it looks like Kiser and Bithell are closing up on the leaders as well. We've got a race on our hands through the final stretch. Borich able to emerge from the woods with the lead, though. And now we see Bithell in the #2 spot, and we don't see Wolf. What happened to the Honda man? There is Kiser. He is up to 3rd. So Chris Borich now all alone with the lead. He's been hooting and hollering all day long, having a good time. And you hear him yelling again every time he goes past our cameraman. This course is gnarly, but he seems to be enjoying it. Meanwhile, we hear that Wolf has snapped the chain. So the guy led every lap of this race, and now on the last lap, he's going to find himself not finishing. And taking advantage of that, for the first time ever, Chris Borich is going to win Snowshoe. Unbelievable that he has never won this event before in 6 tries, but today is his day. Chris Borich wins in West Virginia. And a spectacular run for Chris Bithell, his best ride of the year, and a hard-earned second-place finish. And there's his mom. She is always pumped, regardless of where he finishes, but a podium finish makes her even happier. And solid points. Wait, that is Fowler. I thought it was going to be Kiser, the number 3 spot. Nice comeback for Fowler. Look at the AMSOIL results here. Jarrod McClure rallying for 4th. Kiser dropping back to 5th. Let's talk to our winner.
It feels real good. I mean, last year it was a bummer. It was only like a mile before the finish. I blew up, but this year everything worked great for us. Got the whole shot and led for a little bit, and Brian Wolf came up, rode with him, and just had a good battle all day.
And you see the AMSOIL point standings here. Borich marching away with it. Let's catch back up with Johnny Gallagher. Tough luck today.
Unfortunately, probably maybe 8-9 miles in on the first lap, just before we finished the actual first complete loop, somebody had knocked a tree over and it was facing me roots first. And as soon as I looked at it, from riding for all these years, you kind of get a little bit of a sense of what's not good. And I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to be a smooth way over it. And I tried to wheelie it, but it bounced up when I hit it, and it actually ended up coming over top of the foot pegs. Now, when it did that, I lost probably about a minute and a half getting it undone. Got past. At that point, I was still ahead of all the rows behind me, and the couple guys I'd passed, I was physically running 6th or 7th maybe. And I think I probably dropped back outside the top 20 physically. And that was a real tough blow early in the race.
Gallagher would end up 8th in the pro class today. Here's your Can-Am turning point. Brian Wolf led the whole way. Chris Borich makes a move on him on the last lap, and then, just when we thought we'd have a great battle to the finish, Wolf disappears. Broken chain. So all those laps led result in nothing as far as the results are concerned, and allowed Chris Borich to finally take a win at Snowshoe. He has been beset by the same type of luck that sapped Wolf today far too often at this event. Finally, your multi-time GNCC champ puts his name in the Snowshoe record book. So congratulations to Chris Borich. Thank you for watching. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant.